back. About to start putting this toe board back in. Got the frame out, the firewall frame mount. Just locate it back in place, a couple clecos, back on the resistor bolt. And I drew a line up in here, well, put the dicom blue down. Scribe the line, I'm just going to cut just below it. And see if I can't get this toe board to fit in there a little better than what it was in the past. Alright, well, here get my caulk wheel, earplugs and gloves in, and get to cutting. Alright, so after I cut this, put the part up in there, and did some dicam to lay off of it, scribed the line, trimmed it to where I wanted it to be. I'm doing this little extra on here, and I'm going to do what they call look up Fritzy's Fabrication. He does this thing called cut and butt. It cuts on a 45-degree angle with the part laid over top of it, and makes for a nice tight gap. And I'm just going to do that with this. Hey, give it a shot. Let's screw it up. Worst case it is. I patch it, big deal. Anyways, what's that? That cut. I spent some time hammering and dialing this around to match this contour pretty nice. Clean this up, and with where all that extra material was when I cut it out. And now I just got to spray some copper primer on this, Welter primer. Took the paint off of there, and then that's about it, really. I think I'm debating if I want to make or take it, and I'll probably just make it because I'm lazy. Alright, let's get to me putting this thing in and locating it with the clecos and all. Tacked in. My off camera went ahead and tacked everything in up in here best I could. Just do little gaps and stuff, but good old metal glue gun gets all that stuff in. So I clamp down the corners, clamp tight down the firewall frame out. Drill a line down here where the original firewall's cut, and I'm just going to lop off the extra here. And I got tack spray up in there just to hold it in place. Lop off the extra, tack it, and then when I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna cut off a little bit, cut it off with the skin underneath on a 45, tack it, cut a little bit more, tack it, cut a little more, tack it, cut a little bit more, and tack it. All right, let's get the cake cutting. So I got the firewall, the attached side firewall frame out here, completely freaking rusted, all heavily pitted. So I'm going to try to clean this up first as best I can, chop this off, weld it on a new piece, and hopefully it's a little better than what it was. Alright, enjoy the show. Me working and making a mess. This thing is, I want to cut it off. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. I'm going to try my best, but this here is all beat up. It was rusted out from before when I first got the car pretty bad. It rusted out pretty bad. So I'm going to try to cut it straight as I can along here and try to get that bump out a little bit right there. But before I do that, I'm going to grab some tape and make a quick template. See how well that turns out this time. So before I cut all this stuff off, I took a look and see where the bend was the best at. This is what I bent before when I fixed the door for the, where the hinges go. So I was going to put my tape on there. A little bit better than that. Taking things off. And my scribe. Alright, let me get my PP back on, get back to cutting. Locked in place. I was going to cut it first, but said screw it. I'm going to figure out the center of this, and then what the hole diameter is going to be. So it looks to be about, I should grab it real tight. Try to get away with a 3/4 inch hole. Drill through here, and that way I just cut it, pop it off, make it pretty close. And I guess where that the tie down hole is, it's 1/2 inch. So if I figure out the center of a 3/4 inch hole, which is what, 375? So 3/8 down. This is going to be, it's roughly an inch, so it'll be 1/4 inch in, and then a 1/4 inch in. And I'll just clean up with a Dremel or something like that, or with my die grinder. Alright, let me get a block of wood, a drill, and we'll get those hole drills. pack it in place, the MIG, and then break the TIG out. Oops. Alright, that's all welded in, came out pretty freaking decent. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to see if we can try to run some beads across here and just tack this in case not in there a little better. You have a tendency to rip out, so let's get to it. And there's final product. Yeah, it's not perfect. I don't care about the pits because when you put it on the car, I'm only going to put some copper weld through primer just on the tips here, up along the side and across here, down the edges. That's all was really welded in from the factory. Maybe a couple across here. What we're going to do is I'm going to come over about a ½ inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, and do the copper weld through. And then the rest of it is, and the same thing with up here. Actually, I think up here I'm just going to do the whole thing copper weld through. But the rest of it is going to try to be panel bond. This entire area here, panel bond. And then when I get done, I'm going to go up on this joint here where it mounts. Let's see, there we go, I've gotten the light. Mounts up in there. I'm going to clean off the copper weld through primer and then use the TIG and just, you know, put a couple of fillets across there, and then where it goes across the front there, just run the torch across it, maybe with a little bit of filler. But other than that, down in here I got to do some seam sealer before I put it on, and that's about what I'm going to do. And maybe hopefully maybe tomorrow I get this welded in, get this all taken off, and then that should be it for this side for major stuff. There we go. The holes are laid out, 1/4 inch, 10 across top, 10 across the side, bunch on the outside here, and let's see what it looks like from the inside. Oops. There you go. See all the hole comes all the way coming through. Onto seam sealer and some paint on the inside for that guy. There we go, welded in. So I'm not going to go too crazy on cleaning up the welds, just flatten them out. Because eventually, I'm pretty sure I'm going to put lizard skin on this car and the inside to help control the heat, because it's going to be pretty hot inside. And all that stuff's going to be flattened out anyway when you get all that shit on there. So there's that, all clamped up where I put the panel bond, and same thing with the outside. Didn't go too crazy, just flatten it out. And finally I can take this off and get this out of my way. And underneath, all the clamps, hold it all together. Yay, getting closer. Finally concludes this, putting this back on. Welds are cleaned up, ground down as best as I wanted to, or at least as most as I wanted to have them ground down. On the inside here, ground down, it's like I said, closest to ground down as I want them. Said they're going to get, I said if I could do a lizard skin on the inside of here to help control some of the heat. Turn that up, there we go, there you can see it. Yeah, put lizard skin on, so that's going to be all wrinkled textured anyway. Alright, I guess that concludes putting the frame rail in, floor pan, or fixing the toe board, and putting the firewall frame mount back on. Alright, I guess time to flip the car around, start the other side. Thanks for watching.